Hey, what's going on, guys? DJS here. I have some tips for you guys on which tree is my personal favorite and which one I think is actually the best for you guys to be using for the new character of the Psycho, Borderlands 2. There's three different trees, Bloodlust, Mania, and then I can't see the other one right here. I personally don't like Bloodlust, and I don't like the other one to the far right. They're both kind of weird, and I'll show you why I don't like the one on the far right because of the fire damage is kind of weird. It's a HellBorn, but Mania is the best in my opinion. And if you fill out the complete tree, it's really worth it because you get some crazy. I mean, you get to be one of the big dudes, and you just run around and melee everybody. Now you're going to want to focus on melee damage for the most part for this tree, which means the best combination that I can think of class-wise, if you have any mods or any relics that have melee damage, if you have the Law and Order specifically, I think that really makes or breaks this class because a lot of times you're just going to end up getting downed if you don't have something like the Law and Order equipped together. Now I went back up here and you can see I Empty the Rage I added to that one, and then I'm going to go back down here and Release the Beast. This one's going to be awesome. This is why I wanted to do this one, but it basically gives you guys an opportunity to do a lot of melee damage. And when you're in a rage fit also, you'll do melee damage, and then as soon as you come out of it, sometimes you'll have it all the way built up. I don't know the rhyme or reason yet, but you'll have it all the way built up, and you can go ahead and just do it again. So you just run through and just melee the crap out of everybody. Now the downside is you take damage when you're meleeing. So if you're in an area where there's lots of enemies really far apart, it's going to be really tough for you guys to run up to somebody in melee. I personally don't like to do it. That's why obviously guns are a little bit more effective. But in a area like this where it's kind of a barroom brawl, excuse me, you'll just run around with this melee thing and you just destroy these guys. And it was really night or day for me. As soon as I used this setup, I was able to beat this many times in this little area for my level. But definitely get a relic that has either let's see, I'm using the max. I think I end up using the max health one because health is important. You don't necessarily want your shield, or it doesn't really matter with your shield stuff. But the Law and Order, this is the real kicker. If you use the Law, which is the melee weapon, this is only level 16, but it's 100% increase in melee damage, and you can see right there that I'll get to that one in just a second. What just happened there? I ended up injuring myself, which is another downside of this. But the Law gives you 100% melee damage. When you have it combined with the Order, which is a shield, it actually replenishes your life every time you melee. So you'll see that I'll basically have like low life, and then all of a sudden I'll melee, and you can see it refilling right there because I meleeed and hit somebody. So the Law and Order is really essential. Otherwise, you'll just end up dying, and it doesn't work very well. But this is a super badass enforcer. He's level 41. He's a level above me. I went into my rage fit and just wrecking havoc with this setup. It is just crazy. Also, when you're in this rage mode, you hit and kill one enemy, your life bar automatically fills up also. So the Law and Order is just kind of an extension of that. Definitely worth doing it. And then you can see right here, did I do it again? Oh no, I didn't. Sometimes it lets you do the rage thing right away. Now see, I ended up getting down. Another huge tip is to go ahead and have a rocket in your inventory as well, like a good one, and make sure it's reloaded because it does help you get up when you get down. You will get down pretty easily, even with the Law and Order equipped, because your shield isn't super crazy because you have the Order. But anyway, you can see the havoc that this thing wrecks. Now the downside is when you're doing this melee rampage, he has a 12% chance that he can actually hit himself. Right there, I think he just did it. And if he hits himself, he takes damage. So it's kind of like a ridiculous thing, but it makes it kind of really crappy. But at the same time, I mean, 12% chance, that's like basically 1 out of every 10 strikes, potentially, you can end up hitting yourself. And if you hit yourself when your life is already down, you're just going to end up killing yourself. So I've done that many times, ended up killing myself, and then downing myself in front of a large boss, and then ended up just dying because I couldn't get up because I had no way of actually getting up. So again, the rocket is nice to have right here, but you have to be able to be fighting people that you can get kills to get back up, even with the rocket. So if you're fighting a big boss, chances are you're not going to be able to even get back up with the rocket. So there is pluses and minuses to this setup. The pluses are definitely for in-close quarter combat, and you can just hack and slash your way to victory. The downside is if you go ahead and you try to do this with a big boss or something like that, if there's just like 2 bosses on the screen. Like we tried to do the one of this type of things where it's a round thing and there's a bunch of big bosses. I can't remember which one it was. I just ended up getting down all the time and dying quite a bit, so definitely not worth it. But hopefully you guys found this a little bit helpful. I'll show you guys one more thing right here, and this is the main reason right here why I don't like the Hellbound skill tree, because this thing actually, when you're on your rage fire thing, it does great damage, it does crazy damage, but you can see my life is actually taking damage as well because I'm on fire. So unfortunately I'm not I can't avoid the fire, and I end up sitting here raging out. No enemies are left, and I ended up killing myself with it. That's why I kind of prefer the other one, even though you can take your own damage as well. But that's a Psycho in general. He is kind of a crazy character. Hopefully, again, you guys found this video helpful. Just kind of a random one for you guys. If you guys want more Borderlands 2 tips and tricks with the Psycho or anything else, let me know, and we will catch you guys later. Peace. And there I am. I just killed myself. That was so dumb.